snakes, it's about claustrophobia, it's about swimming. It could be anything that you have a fear or a phobia about, or just... You can reverse it in 15, 20 minutes and have a whole new experience. Fear of flying is a really big one. I've worked with that with a bunch of people, that fear of flying, and one session, and they're off to New York and off to Prague. And
oh, that is so fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to clear these fears or phobias, and I actually have a clip of an NLP practitioner who goes about it in a little bit of a different way. So I wanted to show that clip, and then I wanted to explain more about it and what he's actually doing. So
excellent.
I'm going to get that clip ready. So again, I'm asking you to get out your cane and your top hat. And
okay, I actually feel like getting up and dancing. I just feel, I was driving up I was in Santa Fe this morning, and I was driving up, and it's such a beautiful day out there today, and that Santa Fe just can see forever, all the desert everywhere. I felt like I could see all the way to Switzerland, and I just was coming out of my skin. So now I just feel like getting up and doing a song and dance right now.
Okay, when the viewers are watching the clip, I'll watch you sing and dance.
Okay, I can do it, yeah. Well, then they're going to miss all that.
Bummer. We'll have to work that out.
Okay, cool.
Okay, here we go.
Things that go bump. What if an action-packed thrill ride chilled you to the bone?
People just don't see roller coaster the way I do.
You see a small bug on the floor and are paralyzed, unable to move.
They were everywhere. I mark that as one of the worst days of my life.
Imagine a slice of pizza making you run from the room.
My heart was beating really fast and I was sweating. And
you enter a small, crowded elevator and you feel like you're going to suffocate.
My heart racing and a tightness in my chest.
These are our fears. These are things that go bump in the night. Another form of treatment is known as neuro-linguistic programming. NLP helps people understand how their inner models or perceptions of reality affect their behavior. Carol is the owner of a small crystal and New Age healing arts shop in Southern California. She is calm, centered, and takes life as it comes, except when it comes to cockroaches. After years of anxiety and panic attacks, Carol decided that she could no longer live with her phobia and consulted Robert Mantell, a practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming.
It's literally the study of what kind of language will change a client's experience.
I could easily work myself just with the thought of a cockroach into quite a state, just being sure that they were there, that they were underneath my bed, in my covers, scratching around in my closet, in my shoes.
The therapist learns how Carol's perceptions establish her fearful reactions.
Well, first thing that happens is I see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And once I see it, I immediately have a feeling that follows. It's right here in my solar plexus. It's just that tightening. It feels very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And immediately a feeling of fear.
We help the client elicit what their strategy is for creating a response called phobia.
Neuro-linguistic programming helps identify the link between the 5 senses and negative responses. The therapy is used to redirect the negative link by substituting positive images. By having Carol replay her fears, Mantell helps her discover and then change her negative associations with cockroaches.
All right, so let's pretend for a moment that I was going to fill in for you for a day. Let's say I was from a temporary agency. I was going to come in and fill in for you for a day. If you were going to teach me how to do this freak out process, right, when I see roaches, how would I do it? What's the very first thing I need to do?
Okay, the very first thing you'd have to do is see a roach.
And where do you see that?
Anywhere.
We have the client sort of play back what their strategy is. And while they're doing that, we use creative language patterns to kind of get in there and rather disrupt what it is they're doing. We disrupt their pattern. And is that a small, dark picture way off to the right?
No.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know?
Because that's not very scary off in the corner. It's usually a very big, vivid, bright image in my mind.
Okay. Well, could it be and have it still work?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
How do you know?
I don't know how I know. It just doesn't seem, something that's far away and a little dark dot doesn't seem near as scary as something that's right up there and vivid and bright and in your face.
Through repetition, Carol begins to clearly understand her strategy of fear. At this point, the therapist introduces the possibility of new ways to think about cockroaches.
So there you are, and you see, what do you see?
A cockroach.
You see a cockroach, okay? And you see, do they look like little yellow Volkswagen bugs? Tiny little mini.
Not at all.
Remember what they used to look like with little, like little flower power little things on it? Pink flower power things, right? A bunch of little yellow Volkswagens over there.
No, they don't.
They don't look like.
They don't look like
That's not
that.
what you see? It's not.
No.
You sure? You seem pretty sure of that.
I'm sure.
Okay. So let's start over again. So there I am, and so what's the very? I'm kind of thick, right?
The therapist feigns a lack of understanding because Carol must actually do the process and make the shift of thinking for herself. It is not enough for the therapist to provide her with a new image. She must make that new image part of her visualization.
We're going to discover what the mental strategy is. Once I find out how they create this thing called fear, we're going to go in again and sort of disrupt that strategy so they can't get it back again. Okay, so starting from the beginning, what happens again? You do what? You used to what?
I see a cockroach.
Used to see a cockroach, okay. And then the next thing that happened was you would hear a voice in your head, kind of like Mickey Mouse going, there are cockroaches over there. Oh, what am I going to do? No. We do put the onus of responsibility on the client. I mean, they've really got to want to make the change. If they're committed to the change, there's almost no way that our work can't be successful. Okay, so what was the problem?
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches. What about them?
That they're scary.
Cockroaches are scary, right? Okay, all right. Okay, good. So as you think about it now, right, as you think about a cockroach or seeing cockroaches now, what's that like for you?
Well, right now all I can see is little yellow Volkswagen Beetles with a flower on the side.
You know, I'm not sure you still have this problem. I don't know. So let's just play. Do you want to play? Can we play?
Sure.
Okay. So imagine one of these little critters kind of walking up right over here, next to you. And what's that like? I think you seem horrified. Wow.
All I can think of is little yellow Volkswagens and Mickey Mouse voices.
Mouse voice. Okay, good. And that's how it should be.
Carol is cured in one short session, while in most cases, neurolinguistic programming requires 3 to 5 sessions.
What was the problem?
I don't know that there is one.
She doesn't know that there is one. Problem solved.
Yeah, cool. Little yellow Volkswagens.
Well, he goes about clearing her phobia in a slightly different way. He's using NLP, what I would call mapping across.
I just did a session mapping across yesterday, so...
Yes, so mapping across is more about looking at the strategy of how you are holding that memory in your mind. It looks at it in a slightly different way, and they even talked about he was trying to understand her strategy of fear.
Right.
So what that means is, and Patrick talked a little bit about this as well last week, is that we have a structure for the way we hold our memories. And I think about it like this, Mitch. I think about little file cabinets. So in our brain, I'm totally simplifying.
Okay, good.
Please understand, I'm totally simplifying.
Because that's where my head is at right now. Keep it simple. Just keep it simple.
So in our mind, we have, say, filing cabinets. And in this place, we file things that are wonderful, and over here we file things that we don't like, and here we file things that are lies and things that are true, and all of these different file cabinets, things that are scary, things that are great. And the way that we know how to file them is the way that we structure them in our mind. And the structure is held in when we have the memory and it replays in our mind. Depending on how well we see, hear, or feel our memories, because we all have different degrees of, some of us see them more, some of us hear them more, some of us feel them more, and there are all kinds of combinations, depending on if we see it far away or close up, or if we see it out of our eyes, or like out of our own eyes, or if we see it like we're watching ourselves in a movie, like sometimes you have a dream and you see yourself.
So like dissociated or associated.
Right. So dissociated means that you watch yourself walk or do things like you're watching a movie of yourself. Associated means you're looking out your eyes, therefore you can't see your own face. You see your hand when you put it up, things like that.
Which is so much more effective when you're actually seeing it associated. Is it?
Depending on the memory. Depending on the
That's
memory.
true.